Good morning, good afternoon, YouTube. Alright, this is a different setting, as you can see. I am home, in my home office. Normally, I make my videos when I'm driving, and I'm always on my way to Instacart, Zone, or whatever. Hey, whoever the one person's on here. Who's on here? Paula? Or Joseph? So anyways, I'm here to make a video that I am now retired. Hey, whoever the second person is. I am now retired from the gig economy. Hey, Dawn, Jamie. Who's the other third person on here? So anyways, this video is about to make my announcement about I am done with the gig economy jobs. Uber, Instacart, hey Q, oh, I can't see nothing. Hey DJJ 504 from New Orleans. So, I'm here to make my announcement that I'm no longer doing any of these gig jobs. No more. Uber, Instacart, Uber Eats, all of them. I'm not putting my time out there anymore. And I will be deleting, well, I've already deleted all those other apps, but I will be deleting the Instacart and all of the rest of those apps. You know, I already deleted all those apps. I'm not affiliated anymore with any of these companies, and it's been a good almost a year since I first started. I first started doing it when I was doing Uber. It's July 10th, so it's right under a year. Because I think I started at July 25th, something like that. I think that was my first time I started doing Uber. And sometimes you have to really know what benefits you and what is out there to serve. For me, when I first started doing Uber, and then it proceeded with all those other gig jobs, you know, Lyft, Ship, Grubhub, and all those rest in Postmates, you know, DoorDash. Whether I've done it for a week, whether I've done it for months, you know, I've decided I'm not going to do it anymore. And the reason why I'm not going to do it anymore is because it was hindering me from my goals. Hey, Paula. Okay, I'll see you in a few. And when I was doing all these different gig jobs, you know, I was putting in over 40 hours a week, you know, 50 hours, 60 hours a week. You know, I was putting in miles and miles on my car, beyond ridiculous. You know, I bought a brand new 2012, I bought a car in 2012, a 2013 Kia. And it had, 5 miles. Oh, well, for one thing, with Instacart, they deactivated my account over that incident with some community that they claim happened. They didn't give me any details as to what I supposedly have done or anything else. I spoke with someone who told me my account was not being suspended and the matter was taken care of. And then they came back later on that day telling me about something else, about that incident with the publisher, with the old lady, when I made a complaint. You know, and I had it all on tape, because remember I was on video with y'all talking at the time. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm seeking legal representation against Instacart. I will be filing that lawsuit along with those other drivers with Grubhub, you know, over the 40 hours and the overtime. But even though a lot of people jump on YouTube making videos about talking about, you know, responsibility and taking account of your own actions, and talking about we're independent contractors, you know, all kind of crazy stuff, you know, and feel that the Grubhub incident doesn't have validity, and you are an independent contractor who's doing a job for these people who filing their lawsuit. So I will be getting that letter that's downstairs, and I will be opting in with it, because to me it needs to stop. But the reason why I'm saying I'm not going to do any of these gig jobs anymore is because it was preventing from me from looking for a job. It was preventing, not even a job, a career. You know, it's been a year since I've left the IRS, the service center, and then when I went to do Uber and all these other jobs and all these other gigs, I was literally, you know, working from morning all the way to the evening, practically every day. You know, I was neglecting sending out my resumes. You know, when I did send a resume to companies, I did get interviews, but because of circumstances where, like ADT, for instance, you know, I was offered the job and everything, and it was through a temp agency, but when it came down to the funding, they didn't want to approve the funding, and then I found out that they laid off those people anyway. You know, they let go those people anyway. And it's just like it's a whole different ball game in the climate of these companies are hiring. You know, so what I've decided to do, which makes perfect sense, is that I'm going to become a substitute teacher. I'm going to start out as a substitute teacher, and substitute teaching pays anywhere from like $130 something a day. You're not even in the classroom all day. And eventually I'm going to go into the teaching profession. Now I know a lot of people like, I can't deal with kids, and I can't, you know, they always say what they can't do. They don't want to deal with kids and stuff. But you know what? I didn't go to school. I didn't get my MBA degree. I didn't, you know, put myself in over 6-figure student loan debts to be driving people and doing grocery shopping and all. I didn't subject myself to do that. I didn't put myself to do that. And because of that, I had put I'm almost approaching 100,000 miles on my Kia Optima, which is a 2013. You know, here it is, we in 2017, and here it is, 4 years I put that much miles on a car. I've never put any type of miles on my car like that. You know, the car, I can't even pick people up with that car. You know, I'm not, and to me, it's slave wages, and it's straight up slave wages. I don't care how you look at it. And you know what? There's been a lot of videos made, you know, a lot of things made about how much are you really making. And to be honest with you, you're not even making minimum wage. You're making way less than that. Way less than that. And on top of that, you're going to have to buy another car. Most likely, I will have to buy me another car in the next couple years. And if I had continued to keep driving, I would have to probably buy me another car. So it ain't so much about buying another car, because like I spoke on my teach at a community college or university. Yeah, I would look into that, but you know what? It's like getting those. I looked into that. You know, I looked into it, and it's kind of like I have to kind of start where there's more of a need. Yeah. Let me tell you that Instacart got the nerve to talk about deactivating people who does instant pay. You know, what kind of mess is that? And I keep telling you, every time I have a feeling about something's going on, when they start, you know, making up stuff about we're going to deactivate people, you know, if you work too many hours, or if this is your primary job, and they don't have the money to pay you. They don't have money to pay people. So people are getting paid on borrowed time. So they're gonna have to, like any business, you're gonna have to cut who's gonna cost you the most money. Yeah, I may generate a lot of money. I mean, generate a lot of the service and time, but like I tell you, I was doing, I started doing like 60 something hours, and then when it came to paying me, here comes Saturday, Sunday, they want to overload me with a whole bunch of orders and a whole bunch of orders so they don't have to pay out the guarantee. Now, I just got that last pay yesterday. Now, I had $100 and something dollars they had to give me and make up, and I got 340. So they had to get, and all of a sudden, mysteriously, I start seeing some of these tips that was delayed coming in. Where the hell that came from? And I was killing it. So they don't have the money to pay shoppers who are 50, 60 hours. Some people make 600, 700, but you know what? If they got a lot of money in those tips, or they cahoots to getting tips by telling customers about that service fee and saying, oh, you don't have to pay the service fee in lieu of the tip. Some people was leaving flyers in the bags, and they had made an issue about that. They said if anybody, we'll be deactivating people who've been leaving flyers about the service fee in the customer's bag, because customers been complaining about that. So now what they're going to do is they're going to go back, and for all those people who had these issues with complaints from customers about they was told about a service fee in lieu of the tip, they're going to get an email and they're going to be deactivating them. They're not going to do it right away. See, what they do is they're going to come back in about a couple weeks and send you some email, some random email with no specifics. So what I did last night, I called early this morning, spoke with someone, and I said that I want my emails of complaint to be escalated to a higher up. And they said they will respond. So I guess sometime this week, Instacart will get off their fucking ass and respond back to me. And they're going to tell me in detail what did I do at some community, some gated community. Because I'm not going to let that go. So I'm waiting. I made some phone calls to some law firms here in Atlanta, and I'm waiting for them to call me back. So if I have to go to a law firm, one is off of North Drew Hills, then I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna give them some time today to get back with me and see and discuss the case or whatever it may be. But I am not letting that go. I'm gonna be resilient with suing Instacart on the matters in which they've done. Point blank. But in terms of me doing any more of the gig economy jobs, I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing it anymore because when I first joined and when I first signed up, it was something temporary. It was something for me to just interview, look for a job, and then that was it. But I found myself doing 60 hours and morning, noon, and night every day. I wasn't planning on looking for a job. I wasn't taking any kind of enrichment classes or courses to improve on my skills. I wasn't sending out my resumes like I was supposed to look for a job, networking, none of those things. I wasn't doing any of those things because I was so preoccupied trying to pay bills and trying to work all these gig jobs. And it wasn't doing anything other than ruining my car, putting miles on my car, spending a lot of money in gas. And it's not about I was driving aimlessly either. I wasn't just driving looking for orders or anything. And I wasn't making any money. And to be honest with you, I got a lot of people who tells me, oh, you can make more money working at McDonald's or working at, retail, or working at somewhere, some entry level type of job, or or something else. I mean, I know a lot of people speak about doing these jobs. It gives you flexibility, and I could, it's giving me, yeah, it's flexibility, but it's only meant, to be honest with you, these companies set it up where it's only that you make it part time. If the company does not have the cash to pay, like Instacart is more of a service based type of company where they make their money based on customers ordering groceries. They mark up the groceries, of course. They charge a delivery fee, and then they charge a service fee. They charge all these damn fees, and then the customer, when they realize that they don't do it, they don't. That's why I see a lot of people in these groups, Facebook groups. They would ship too. Ship is the same thing. People talking about, I ain't getting no orders. All of a sudden, I don't get no Metro orders, because everybody keeps jumping from one platform to the next platform, but they're not generating new people to do it. They're not generating new people to do it. And to be honest with you, the ones who are, they have a regular job. They have a regular 9 to 5 job, and then they turn around and say, I'm gonna do Grubhub, I'm gonna do Uber on the side. They're not really in the position to know the true aspects of not making not making money. That's pocket change. That little pocket change. That's like my little play money. And then some people utilize that by making these little videos and saying, oh, this is great. But yeah, if you're doing it 3 hours, or say you're doing it 10-15 hours a week, and you could make a little bit of money to pay a bill, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. But jumping from one app to the next app to this app to that app, it all pays the same. It all pays about the same. But in the long run, for someone like me, you in a position of trying to look for a regular career, look for a regular job, and you're doing this full time, it's not really good. It really isn't. I don't care what anybody say about, oh, you get the tax write-offs. Yeah, you get the tax write-offs, but I got to report all the money I made. So if I made $20,000 a year, and yet you have 19,000 plus dollars and making negative money, that's not really good. That's not really good, because what's the big asset other than your house that you have? It's your car. So, and I'm not leasing no car. I'm not going to lease nobody's car. I'm not going to go to Uber leasing and pay $149, $179 a week, because that's 2 car notes for some basic cheap ass looking, whatever little car. So you putting yourself in a cycle of poverty. And that's what I was doing. I was sitting here, driving and going to this place and doing that, getting fat, not working out because I had to work all these hours just to make $600, just to make $700. I had to work almost 70 hours. 70 hours I had to nearly work almost double just to get a measly, 700, or if I got that. And that, I mean, it was it was just outright deplorable, outright insulting, and it was just bringing me down. And another thing I can't stand when people say, well, I could do, I could turn on this app, I could turn DoorDash on, I could do Uber Eats and this, it's easier for you. It's easier for people to be, it's not as stressful. And you know what? If I had a spouse, if I had, if I was married or something like that or another, and you had another person in the household who's making income, and they paying majority of the bills, that's really not, you're not really stressed, You're not really stressed. People say I do it just to get out the house, and then if I want to get out the house, I'm not gonna um and you want to make some extra money doing these little gig jobs, and that's fine. But really, to be honest with you, all they doing is just taking advantage of people, and they have a limit in terms of what you could do, to be honest. And Instacart was the perfect example. Perfect example. I ain't heard. I mean, how all of a sudden you come up with these trumped up little things and arguments about something that I supposedly done, and you didn't even have the audacity to even send me an email as to what happened. You ain't call and tell me this person said da 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 and this happened. Nothing. Nothing. Now every time I call, I get that message. We are currently prioritizing all calls. If you want to send a message, send it to the email, the Shopper Happiness Team or Shopper at Instacart. Rather than you fessing up and simply saying that, we could only allow so many hours each week and whatever. Because once those two little zones in Atlanta is not guaranteed, they drop the rates. The rate will suddenly drop from $10 to $10.25 on a Sunday and Monday, and then it's going to be $7 and some change, and then it's going to be like $6. In North Fulton County, for instance, which is Alpharetta, which is not far from where I would have been in Swanee Cumming area, they only gave $6.50 to go all the way out there in that damn North Fulton County. You know how far North Fulton County is if you don't live in that county or you don't live in that area? It's quite far for the normal, typical person who lives on the other side of Atlanta. And expensive too. But those are the most cheap-ass people over there. So let me tell you how a lot of people make money. They make money and they make some good tips. It's because they're telling people, oh, the service fee don't go to the customer, waive the service fee. Now Instacart is jumping on people, telling them you can't, if you got caught saying or implying about that service fee, you taking money out of their pocket, and they're going to deactivate you. Because number one, they don't want you to make they don't want that customer to waive the service fee, even though it's optional. The service fee is optional with Instacart, but they don't want people to tell people that. And some people, and I told people, don't put nothing on the internet, don't put nothing in no bag telling customers that. Now they got a wind of it, because now all of a sudden those service fees are not being collected by the customer, because everybody's told the customer that. Now Instacart wants to they got to deactivate people who's making the most money and who they paying out more. If you got to pay people who are making a lot of money, say $200, and that's one person, you talk about all across the country, that's millions of dollars you paying out, and they're not getting the money in the service fee because they ran out of money. Instacart ran out of money, and then we put shippers in the same category too. So for those, you can't do that. You can't do those two companies full time and expect to make money. And if you do, they will find some reason to deactivate you, and therefore you have to either move on to the next company. But working to it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So it's really, these gig economy jobs is really for somebody who wants to make a little extra money and a little bit extra cash. But as more and more people jump on to some of these companies, the more and more that this wave of popularity of people ordering food through the app is going to decrease. It's a phase. People are not going to do it. Restaurants, you have to look at the trend. Restaurants are not going to use all those companies anymore. They're not going to keep paying Uber, Grubhub, Instacart, DoorDash 35% to each of them. 35 to each one. So can you imagine if I was a restaurant owner and I have 4 or 5 different apps? I have all these little apps on my counter. I used to go last summer. It was booming. It was every time you turn around, you go into a restaurant, you hear all the apps going off. Now, when I used to go in there now, I don't hear that. I don't hear it because I talk to the people. I talk to the restaurant owners, and it's starting to decrease. So a lot of them are like, contract ends. They like, nope, we're not doing Postmates anymore. They're not going to do DoorDash anymore. And to be honest, they really ain't going to do Grubhub and Uber Eats. They're going to have to choose one. And they really not going to resort to those companies because they don't have the venture capital money to do it. They don't have it. Let me tell you who's gonna win out of all of them. And y'all could comment below what I'm saying. Amazon. Amazon is going to destroy all of them. Instacart, Ship, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all of them. All of them. I'm telling you. Amazon is going to take over in regards to the groceries because now they got that whole food. They're going to implement their own drivers to deliver groceries to them along with their Amazon Fresh. They're going to dominate Uber Eats and Grubhub and all the rest of them because they have Amazon food or something like that. Amazon restaurant or something, whatever they got. And through the Amazon Prime members who orders from restaurants, they get it for free delivery. So that's the end of DoorDash, that's the end of Grubhub, and that's the end of Uber Eats. Because Uber Eats ain't made a profit since they launched that. They ain't made no profit. They have not made no money. That's why they hired this firm I'm supposed to be going to tomorrow. I submitted my resume for some marketing firm, and they sent me a response back. Said, oh, we could talk with you tomorrow, the interview. They got this campaign. They working with this PR firm or a marketing firm in Atlanta, and I'm supposed to be going to tomorrow. And I just read that they will be working with Uber to straighten out their campaign to promote all the negativity that's occurred with Uber. And I may go to that company tomorrow. I don't know. I'm supposed to go there tomorrow at 5 o'clock for some interview. So I may go to see what they're talking about. It's up there in Marietta somewhere. And see what they yapping about. But hey, Paula B. I don't know how much you caught, but maybe you have to listen to the replay. But what I was saying was that I had retired from all those platforms. Uber too. Uber Eats included. I'm not doing any of them. And I'm going to be waiting for my response from a law firm. And I'm going to go after Instacart. But like I was saying, Instacart and all these companies, especially Instacart, DoorDash, and Grubhub, they all have these blocks. You gotta get these limited blocks. And the only reason why Grubhub changed their schedule, they used to have it where you could work 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and you could do all day if you wanted to. Now they limited to 2-3 hour blocks, and only so many people could work a block, and the only time you could log on is when they need help, when they're busy. Then they say, oh, okay, we need people to log on. We're busy. We don't have enough people in the area. So can you log on and pick up some orders? Man, please. Everybody's jumping on Uber doing Uber Eats and jumping on Uber because now they got the tip option and they running to do that. And the only people who have flexibility to do those things if you already have a regular job and that's part-time. What about Amazon Flex? Yep, that's all it is supplementing your income. Well, like I was saying, with Amazon, I'm telling you, Amazon's going to destroy the grocery delivery service that Instacart and Ship is doing. They're going to destroy them. That's not going to be. That's not going to be for long. They're going to destroy them, big time. And they're going to implement their own Amazon Fresh, and then they're going to do with them having Whole Foods. They're going to be a distribution center to actually have people deliver groceries to customers, or they're going to have to come and drop it off. I already saw that protocol or that thing done in California. And they even have something like that at a Walmart here in Snellville. People are supposed to walk into the Walmart. It's a small grocery Walmart. It don't even look like a regular Walmart. I never been in there because I didn't know what their concept was, but you're supposed to order online on your phone, and you go in there, you pick up the bag, and then you leave. Oh yeah, they're going to kill the rest of the gig economy for sure. They are going to dominate Instacart. I'm telling you, Instacart and Ship, they already had their rounds of funding. They already got that $3 million plus. The biggest contributor for Instacart was Whole Foods. They was one of their biggest investors. So once that little $13 million or whatever number, $3 million or whatever they got several months ago, that money's ran out. They ain't got no more money. None. Zero. They're not getting no more funding. If they can't get no more funding and find $1 million of investors, that's it. They gone. I'm going to give them to the end of the year. And I say good riddance. And Grubhub is a publicly traded company. Their stock hasn't been doing that great. You know, they haven't been doing that good. And when a lot of these restaurants start not renewing their contract, and they're not going to renew it, they're going to say, nope. If I was a restaurant owner, a small restaurant, I don't need to have 4 or 5 restaurants signing up to provide a delivery service. Last summer, let me tell you, when I first started last year in the summer, it would be like 10, 15 deliveries, drivers picking up food at restaurants. And those restaurants couldn't even keep up. They were so dang crowded and busy, they shut off the apps. They were like, They didn't have the staff. They didn't have the manpower to handle the delivery requests online, and they don't have enough cooks. They're not going to hire more people to mandate the kitchen and then to handle their diners and people who came in to dine in too. Some of these restaurants couldn't keep up, so they turned off the app. They straight up turned. They told me. I asked them. They said, "Nuh-uh, we ain't taking no more at 7 o'clock." JR Crickets. Man, people ordering food left and right. Those nasty ass wings up in North Lake. They turned off the damn app at 7 o'clock. I was like, well, damn, y'all don't close till midnight. They turned it off. They had to turn it off. So many people ordering food. Because, you know, lazy ass people want to order nasty, dry ass JR Cricket wings. And they couldn't keep up. They only had so many people in the kitchen. They only had 2 cooks. And it was the same thing with the other restaurants. They only had so many people that could do the order online and your own dining facility. And then you giving Uber and Lyft, Uber and DoorDash, Grubhub, you giving them 35% of your revenue? You know, 35%. They're not getting... So if you're getting 35% of the revenue that comes from the online delivery, that means that the other 65% monies that you get, you have to pay from that extra staff to keep up, or you got to pay and get another extra person to handle the food. So you have to decide, do I hire another cook or a sous chef to handle the demands of delivery? They couldn't do it. Companies can't afford to hire people, and it's hard for them to hire, because how many people want to work in the kitchen? How many people want to be a chef? And these are small, you talk about small mom and pop restaurants. So can you imagine the big companies? Imagine the big companies, just like that damn what was that restaurant with the Cheesecake Factory? The Cheesecake Factory ran a big special last year in the summer for DoorDash. I was in that dang Lenox Mall at that damn Cheesecake Factory. They hated it. They couldn't stand it. They did not like that promotion when it was doing free delivery for DoorDash. Then they had something going on with sometimes a lot of them had a lot of things going on with Postmates free delivery. And those people couldn't keep up with doing that. They was like, and they were not making any money. They were losing money. And you say, how can you lose money if you're getting a lot of orders to deliver? Because, like I said, you had to maintain your regular diners where you get 100%. Why would I do 100%? Keep 100. Keep people waiting and trying to fulfill orders. Then you have to hire additional staff. You have to hire somebody to just maintain the tickets that comes in. They turn that, and then you doing 4 of them at the same time. You're getting orders back to back to back to back. Back to back to back. They had everything going on going off. So, they had to, you have to choose. So it's like, wait a minute, we're not really making money. They not really, see, these little associates or people they sell around, restaurant representatives to promote to promote their platforms and say, oh, it's good for you to do it. See, it's good when they first started. But after that year, they were like, hell no. Hell no, it was not good for a lot of companies to do it. Now, I know it dried up. I knew it dried up when I went to restaurants that I used to go that was frequent, and all of a sudden, nothing. You didn't hear nothing going off. You didn't hear no, I was like, what's going on? They're not as busy. And I used to bump into different drivers all the time, with Grubhub and Uber Eats and Postmates. Some people were doing both at the same time, had 2 bags. That was ridiculous. I'm sitting here, I got all these damn ass bags from different companies running around for a measly $5, $6, $7, $8. Yeah, it paid my bills. It paid what I had to do, but it took away from what I was supposed to be doing, which was looking for a career, going back into transforming myself, not going from working at IRS with an MBA degree and doing business and finance and it wasn't the perfect. I wasn't gonna say perfect job, because I was supposed to go for growth. I was supposed to take the experience that I had and move on and do something. And it's not about the money either. It's not about the money, because going into teaching, I said, you know what? I want to go into teaching. I'd rather take the last 15, 20 years of my working life and go and work for the school system. It may not pay a lot of money, but it got great pension plans. They have, you get the holidays off, and it's fulfilling. I know I could leave a mark on education, and then also start my own business, which I've started. I started this t-shirt business with Shopify. I'm almost finished with the website. It's easy. It's not that difficult, but I have that 14-day trial. So I've been looking at different marketing techniques and ideas, and this It's a business I'm gonna do on the side. Small business. What made me leave who? Doing all these what made me leave was what made me retire from these gig economy jobs was it was not making me. I was not feeling proud about it. I wasn't feeling proud about it. I wasn't feeling um, that it was fulfilling enough. I mean, I don't want to settle for less. I was settling for less, and when these companies just don't want to care and they don't care. They just using you as slave labor. That's how I felt. I felt I was being a slave in order just to keep, just to pay, just to make a basic salary. I mean, not even salary, just to make basic income. And I'm putting in all those hours like that. Oh, I don't even want to get into that. I didn't want to get into it. I left the IRS. They removed me from the IRS. I was there for 10.5 years. I was there for 10.5 years. I was already at the maximum peak that I could get. I was already at that part where I wasn't even making anything, and it was too much stress. It was too much stress, and I wanted to move on. I made a commitment to myself when I worked at IRA. I said I'm gonna give y'all 10 years. 10 years to the day they called me in the office telling me some BS about something, despite I had all these awards, all these appraisal reviews of rewards, and just like anything, when there's a change of administration, even though Trump was not in office at that time, I already knew the IRS was going through a change, and I just couldn't take it no more. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. You know, during that 10 years I was there, I had got my MBA degree. I had um, took advanced classes in accounting. I was applying for several different positions to move up. It was every time I applied, it was like, oh, this position is closed. This is, and people were getting positions where like that person, daughter, family member, they didn't have no way close to the education that I had. They had close to the intelligence I had, but I was not a one to kiss ass either. Ain't gonna kiss your ass over no damn government job that only paid 50,000 a year, and that was that's what I would get. And I would only get a pay increase every 3 years. When you work for the government, when you get to a certain level, you only get a raise pay. You don't get no pay increase. They had a job freeze for 7-8 years. I had a position that was offered at the time for a revenue officer. They yanked that because the government was no longer. They put a freeze on positions and jobs. I mean, it was too much. It was only so many years of being beat down that you could take. It was only so much that I could take at the time. And at that point, it was time for me to go. It was time for me to move on, and they forced me to resign, basically. It was a removal. And I didn't go through that procedure of appeals and all that stuff. I mean, I did it. I did that, but I said, I couldn't do it. Now, former coworkers and stuff, I heard they had let go a whole lot of people. Some people was forced to retire. I didn't have the age, and I didn't have the age, so I couldn't retire. But I kept I still got my once I get to a certain retirement age, my retirement plan and pension I could collect years down the road. But it was time to move on. It was just time for me to move on. And I've always sat on that idea. I always sat on that thing about going to teaching. And the same thing I was doing at the IRS, I was doing here with these gig jobs. I was working 60 hours, when they used to give out overtime like crazy because they were so behind and they were so backed up. And I was there morning and weekends. I mean, I was working myself to death, and I had about 40 something coworkers died. They were in their 40s. Some in their late 40s, early 40s, early 50s. They died. And I'm talking about one department. I ain't talking about the agency as a whole. I'm talking about right there on Chamblee Tucker Road, account management. And when those people started dying left and right, the doctor told me you were next, because they said you had something with your heart. You had to start, you going through stress. And I was going to the point where I was going through a nervous breakdown. Straight up nervous breakdown. And you hear some people who do Uber and some of these gig jobs. You hear some people, there's a couple of them on YouTube. There's one guy in Florida, Uber dude. He was being banking. And his mother was sick. And, he had to take care of his mother. And he said he almost went through a nervous breakdown working at the bank. But he was a little bit, he was older. So, he does Uber Eats. And you hear him talk about doing Uber Eats and stuff and whatever. And, But he probably was way older than me, And he said I think he said he retired or whatever. So he's getting paid. I'm quite sure he's getting paid, or whatever the case may be. And some people decided to take this, they decided to do some of these apps or whatever as a supplement of income, because no matter what you say, people are not telling you their full story. They're not telling you everything. All they're doing is making YouTube videos and talking about, use my code and give me my referral code, and they making money through those referrals, and they making money whatever. Me, I'm not gonna be loyal to any of these stupid companies, because one, they don't care. And I ain't gonna say they don't care, but you're not gonna take advantage of me and pay me something that's my rate of return is not there. And like I said, when I did Uber and I first did it, it was just to make a little bit of money and start looking for a job. And then, but when it started taking me away from me looking for my purpose and what it is that I wanted to do, it was too much. It was too much. It was too much. So what I'm going to do now, they say, well, how are you going to make money or whatever. Luckily for me, I'm great I'm great at managing my money. I'm great at savings. I'm not going to let another year pass and be unemployed and not be saying, well, you ain't worked in 2 years. Trust me, I will have a position. I will have a job by the fall. I don't care if I have to sign up and be a substitute teacher for 3 school districts. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to just go ahead and start taking tests and become a certified substitute teacher. And then I'm going to apply for the teaching program and become a regular teacher or paraprofessional. I have the degree, and there's a need, and it could be fulfilling. It could be fulfilling. It ain't about, these kids get on my nerves, and I don't. People need someone who's going to inspire them. And let me tell you, the way how Donald Trump and that Secretary of State DeVore, and how they want to privatize these public school systems, and how they want to make money off the backs of poor people of color, black kids, brown kids. I feel that I want to go into a profession that I could leave an impact on. And the way you can leave an impact on people is teaching them, showing them, and inspire. I'm not inspiring not a damn person doing these damn gig jobs. It was interesting at first. I do admit the advantages of me doing these gig jobs was that I would never get to meet a lot of people on YouTube like y'all on here. Y'all giving me encouragement. I would have never met any of y'all. I would have never met many different people in different walks of life, sharing my story, listening to other people's stories. That's what I had enjoyed. It wasn't about learning about how to improve and be efficient with no Uber or what is it, how to make more money in tips. That's not what I wanted. That's not why I joined the community of all these different people making these YouTube videos and me making my own YouTube video. It was not about teaching people how to make more money with these apps, because you're not going to. You're not going to. And once this trend ends, let me tell you, once this trend ends with these companies, that's it. You ain't gonna hear too much about Instacart for long. I'm gonna give them a year. I'm not even gonna give them a year. I'm gonna give them a year. I'm gonna give them one good year, and I tell you, they're gonna be gone. Boom. Uber, Lyft, where would they be? Where would they stand? It depends on what their little 820-day plan will be. They're not gonna get that many drivers to come back. They're gonna have to get people. They're gonna have to, get people back. The people they so-called say, oh well, your account's been deactivated. Trust me, they're gonna come back and they're gonna be like, okay, well, we need you and just come on back. They didn't pay out no $200, $500 bonuses and have people drive 20, 30 rides to get that bonus for nothing. They didn't do that. And trust me, they don't have the money either. So they need people to drive. They need people to get in Uber and do Uber and drive. And they're going to come up and they're going to somehow or another, they're going to come up with their little spin and this little marketing. And they're going to find they're going to have to find a very good PR firm, marketing firm, and do as much as they advertise. I've seen a couple of commercials lately with Uber, So, like I said, they're gonna have to resort to getting back a lot of people to drive. And like I said, the pitfall is it's going to be a competition of getting people to do these different gig jobs. Because I'm going to tell you, ain't that many people that's going to go ahead and do it. Ain't going to be that many people. And I know a lot of people say, oh, go take a free ride on me. Go ahead and, they're going to try to, And I'm sorry, that little tip thing they talking about, oh, everybody can now tip on the app. Let me tell you, working for 5 companies that had the tip option from the very beginning, I could tell you, those tips were not coming in like that. It was not that. You were not making a lot of money in tips. You better off making money. You better off making some good money in tips, being a waitress, working at a bar, learning how to mix drinks. It ain't worth it, I'm telling y'all. What I'm gonna plan on doing for the next, with my free time I have, I'm gonna be applying with my resumes, working on my t-shirt business, which is called All Things T-Shirts. That's what I'm gonna be working on. And by the fall, I will be working. And watch what happens. The minute I get a job offer, everybody else, they're going to come forward and say, okay, we want to offer you a position. It always happens. I'm going to get one position offer, and then everybody's going to come and follow. And I think to myself that all this time I spent driving and doing all these stuff, and and I wasn't sending out my resumes, I would have been found something by now. But that's okay, because if I didn't do these jobs, and I didn't do these gig economy jobs, I would have never met a lot of people. I would not have met a lot of good people, put it that way. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Oh, I'm so dang hungry. I realized I didn't eat anything all day. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat lunch. Said I was going to be going to the farmer's market. I'll probably be going sometime in the next 30 minutes, so. I keep getting these dang, emails from Amazon. Amazon must be really looking for people. Every time I turn around, on every website, job portal, they looking for somebody for Amazon. And I saw something with Amazon Fresh in Atlanta. They were looking for I don't know what they're looking for. It's a whole bunch of different career portals. See, that's what I'm saying. Amazon is really looking to they're really looking to take over. They're looking to take over. I don't know why I even yeah, they looking for people big time. They're looking people for in their what they call it. What they looking? They looking for a bunch of people for different things. That's why I said, when I see this, and I keep seeing these positions pops up for Amazon, they gonna look to replace. They looking for people to with the Whole Food. I'm telling you, they gonna be looking for people to drive. They gonna look for people to fulfill. They gonna be looking for a lot. And the thing about it, if they pay 10, 25, 11, that's where it's going to be. That little, I'm telling you, watch. All these companies, all they doing is being fulfilled. They being fulfilled by they doing all these jobs. Amazon got all these different positions and stuff, and all of them are geared towards destroying each of those gig economy jobs big time. Big time, I'm telling you. Because for the longest time I heard someone in Kroger's, one of the managers at Kroger's, he said that they were looking to, at first they was going to partner with Uber to do their grocery delivery, but I don't think they decided to do it anymore. That's why they did their own click and bag or whatever they want to call that thing. And then Ship came in and offered services. But like I said, I don't think people who shop at Kroger's, they're not really ones to use that type of service. They're not gonna pay no upcharge fees on no groceries and then pay all those other fees. I think people do it for occasionally. They're like, oh, I need me something. They'll do it once in a while. But that ain't something that's gonna last. That ain't gonna last. But, yep. Where's my friend Joseph? Where he at? He ain't seeing him in the chat today. Some people I see in the chat all the time. I ain't see y'all. Certain people. I'm going to the farmer's market, y'all. Then I'm gonna come back, finish cleaning up my kitchen and what else I'm gonna do. Yeah, pretty much that's it. It's gonna take time for me to get used to not having me running around doing all these other little dumb gigs. See, look. Amazon restaurants. $10 off your first order. See, I had picked up this card a few months ago. And the same restaurants that were doing Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash, I seen a lot of these cards in these restaurants. And some of the people who I spoke with, they said they had preferred Amazon because they don't charge them as much compared to these other companies. They did not charge them that much. I want to say that it was probably much better too compared to what they were telling me. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Why I keep getting these stupid calls from places, Education Direct? I'm like, is this Teresa I'm speaking to? I mean, don't just come. If I answer the phone, who else you think is going to be on answering it? When they start talking, is this Teresa? You don't know me. You call me by my first name. People so quick to call you by your first name. That ain't gonna make me to buy nothing, and sure ain't gonna make me get any information or sign up for your school. But that's one thing I hate when you go to some of these sites. When you try to apply for a job, they always trying to send you, would you be interested in furthering your education? And I put no. And then you're going to still have somebody call me on the phone over foolishness? No, not interested. Just take me straight off your list. Bunch of craziness. Alright, I'm going to the farmer's market. I'll come back and clean up when I come back. Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. I feel like I'm rambling. You know, I don't like to ramble. Whew. My goal is to drink a gallon of water every day. Alright, I'm going to the store. I'm gonna buy me a couple of stuff. Eat me some real food for once. Oh. I know. That's why I'm not eating fast food no more. I'm not eating it no more. I'm gonna buy me some real groceries, real food, and cook. You know, cook me some real food for once. I ain't having, you know, all these things driving around, going crazy. I wasn't eating vegetables and cooking adequately, or healthy rather, because you be sitting in a car all day and all kind of crazy foolishness. Sure is hot. I'm gonna tell you one thing I'm not gonna do right away is I ain't gonna be cutting up this grass. That's for sure. Whew, hot. I'm gonna have to wait in the evening time to cut this grass and cut this lawnmower and figure out this dang garden that I wanna establish. Whew. Let me drink some water before I damn be dehydrated. Low tire pressure. Oh God. How you know? You right. I do. And one of them didn't come from Grubhub. One came from DoorDash. And the big one came from Grubhub. So I got, excuse me from eating. I had one that was, like you could put on, I guess you could put on your back or something. I don't know what it was. Those are some expensive bags. I think I went online and saw those kind of bags was like $25. And one of them doesn't even have a Grubhub name on it. It just has a regular old red bag. And one doesn't even have DoorDash on it either. I think it has DoorDash. No, one does have DoorDash. But I barely use those dang bags. I mean, I'll put people's food in there, but I didn't take it in the restaurant. I would just put it in the bag when I got in the car. Did you see my earlier post of not beating yourself up? No, I didn't see that. No, but I appreciate it, Paula. I'm gonna try not to beat myself up. You know, I ain't gonna beat myself up because yeah, I believe that God has said there's something greater for me than what I was doing, and limiting myself with these jobs and gig jobs was not it. You know, I know I did the best I can in all the jobs I've done. You know, and I'm not gonna regret doing them, and I'm not gonna regret from being let go. But at the same time, I'm still gonna fight for. I'm still gonna fight for justice. You know, because like I said, I just started not really enjoying it. You know, I mean, it's like, it's a job. You have to do the best you can, but it gets to a point where I think a lot of people who does this full time, I think a lot of people who do it full time, I think a lot of them really gave up in terms of what they really want to do. I think a lot of people just do it because they feel that, you know, they think that there's freedom, but I don't think so. I don't think there's freedom. I mean, yeah, you can turn on the app when you want when it comes to Uber, but those other ones, I don't think so. I just don't think that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I enjoy just getting in my car, I just love just driving and da da da. You know, I'm like, okay. If you enjoy doing that, then do it where you could help someone else in a different sort of way. But don't fool yourself in thinking that, you know, you just thinking that, oh, I just love meeting people. And, you know, if you love meeting people and everything else, then volunteer and give a helping hand to someone at a nursing home or a hospice or after school program. You know, I don't think, you know, getting in your car and driving around and you saying you help, I don't know. Because like I told somebody yesterday, Uber is not really for the poor people. It's not really for the working class people who could make, you know, who barely can make things meet. It's for those, you know, rich people who got money, that disposable income. And the ones who are doing these jobs using your own car and driving your own and running down your car and everything else, it tends to be more for people who are they just need the money. They need money, you know. They have no other means of doing things, so they do all these gig jobs to make ends meet. Point blank period. Point blank period. The job market has what city do you live? I live in Stone Mountain. And trust me, when I look around and I see that little U in the front, in the back of the car, I don't need to hear your music too. Why people do that crap? Listen to your music in your own car. I don't have to feel like I need to listen to yours too. Dang. See, most of the people you see doing Uber, they in 3 different positions. One, especially Uber. One, they don't have that many, they don't have a whole lot of skills to do what's now the new job market, which is IT, healthcare, even teaching. Even though teaching, you know, you do have to have a degree. You know, you do have to eventually get your master's degree or and take all these tests. A lot of people don't have that skill set to do that. Ain't so much people say, I ain't got no patience with kids. No, you just don't have the education background to do it. So, you know. And then there are those who are Lord, they must have distracted me from saying what I need to say. And then I see a lot of younger people. They doing Uber, you know, they can't find no job, or they feel they don't want no 9 to 5. I don't want no 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. But they're not going to school. They're not going to school. They're not learning any skill that's in demand. So you don't have to work for somebody either. You can learn a new skill, and you can learn a new skill and work for yourself. I applied for a position with Goodwill online today. It was 2 different positions. One was for Tupac, exactly. Now that's the only time I like listening. I like Tupac. And all that other stuff he was playing before, I don't know about that. And he was some young guy too. So I guess he knew I wasn't listening to that crap. All those other rappers they got going on now. But people who do Uber and Lyft, and then especially all these other gig economy jobs, they either displaced workers, like, you know, they need a job, unemployed, like myself, and they need something to just to pay the bills, and then look for something else in the meantime. Then there are younger people who are doing it, you know, they're doing it too, but they may not have no skill sets, and I think that's I think they have no reason and no excuses, because there are a lot of programs that need people in some of these technical skill jobs and whatever, and they have age requirements. You know, I couldn't even apply for a certain program where they said they'll teach you to go into the IT workforce, because I wasn't 20 something. You know, you had to be 18 to 23, low income, and they're willing to train you for free. And there's a lot of organizations out there like that, but some people don't pass. They don't have the basic math skills to pass. They don't, you know, they went to high school, they may have dropped out, you know, got a GED, or no, don't have a GED, and so they do these jobs, Grubhub, Uber, and all that stuff, but there's something to do with those kind of type of jobs. And then there's a small, I really believe there's a small group of people who do it just to make extra pocket change, just to make, you know, just to pay a bill here and there, or fund
money for fun money, play money. That's small. And I really believe that's a small segment of people. And they're going to do it for about 6 months to a year, and then they'll stop. They won't do it no more. So, to me, I can't do it no more. I can't. It took too much of my time. It stopped me from, and it prevented me from doing other things. No. Unless you call up them people at damn IRS, some of them seem to got mental problems. So you want to count them, yeah. But I don't want to do people with mental, I don't want to work with people with disabilities. I'm not a person that could work in social services in a sense. I work in terms of training or, I don't know. It depends what you mean by working with people with disabilities. If it's like working with people doing training and things of that nature, but I can't really work in a social service setting like a caseworker. I can't do that. I can't do it. A lot of those agencies and things like that is too bureaucratic in terms of, especially in Georgia. They say we need people to work with people with disabilities, and you working with some, third-party agency that somebody made up, and they just collecting money from the state, and then they want to hire people to be caseworkers and stuff. I was with a person who was doing that, and she was the one that stayed in my house, and that's another story altogether. We worked in Illinois, and she had like a background problem issues that I found out, felony charges and the whole 9 yards, and she was working with kids from the state and transposing kids without a license, and she was working in that kind of field with the state of Illinois and Chicago. But no, I don't want to work in that, not in that capacity. I wouldn't want to work in that capacity like that. I probably would do, like I said, I'm going to go into education. I'm going to go ahead and, start out and apply as a certified substitute teacher, register, take that class, get my little diploma, and apply and be a substitute teacher. And okay, thanks, Paula. Anything will help. Something for Teach for America, and I saw a couple of organizations, the non-profit organizations, service organizations, and a lot of them are now under pressure with Trump. They were talking about cutting programs for these major programs too. They weren't even talking about small little agencies. They were talking about they cutting monies for those organizations. They're just an evil man. He's just an evil man. His main objective is to service billionaires and privatize They've been cutting back. They've been cutting back. And that's a shame. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and